Hello, welcome back to the channel, and today will be the final video of our 10-part series of the top 10 coaches, so 100 overall. We've got, the top 10 coaches today is to finish out our top 10 position groups, position rankings, and now coaches here. So we'll start off with number 10, coach of the Ole Miss Rebels, Lane Kiffin. Now, probably a crazy list here, but I think with a combination of how he's handled the portal, how he's handled himself with the media. He's a very funny coach, absolute must follow on Twitter, all social media platforms. And he's also had some pretty good success over the years. Obviously had two really good seasons at Florida Atlantic, major bowl games there. But the last few seasons, he's been over at Ole Miss. He's got a 23-13 record over at Ole Miss. In the last two seasons, he was 18-8, which is the best they've had in generations. He's lost both bowl games, but he was, a ranked pretty high on both times at the end of the year. And last year 8-5, 10-3 the year prior, really good there, and 5-5 in the COVID year. So overall, pretty good over at Ole Miss. And the way he's used the portal and gone forward, he's kind of revolutionized the whole thing and turned it into an NFL approach. He was a coach in the NFL, so it makes a little bit of sense there. So starting off at Tennessee, going to USC, to go in the NFL for a bit, offensive coordinator at Bama, and then coaching over at Florida Atlantic, and then hired by Ole Miss and almost hired by Auburn last year. But he got a new contract and he'll be at Ole Miss for a while. So at number 10, we got Lane Kiffin. At number 9, we got Brian Kelly, coach of the LSU Tigers via Central Michigan, Cincinnati, and Notre Dame. In his first season last year, he was projected to finish, I believe, last or second to last in the SEC West. He ended up winning it, going 10-4 in the process, losing to, Georgia recently. He's done an incredible job turning it around, whether that be through his dancing skills with recruits, which he ended up losing, or faking a Southern accent. He's really become a good household name in the South. Obviously, he had some issues off the court. The field, but you know what I'm saying. Overall, he was 34-6 at Cincinnati. He was 113-40 at Notre Dame. So, he's career over 70% coaching, which is very good. And obviously 10-4 last season in his first year at LSU. And he had a bad roster then, allegedly. He's gone great in the portal. He's done a lot of things. He's brought some of his northern recruiting ways down to the South, helped adopt to the South, and he's got obviously a great brand behind him in the LSU brand. So he's really got a good thing going there, and I would not be surprised if they take advantage of a slipping Alabama. Obviously not saying Alabama's gone, but slipping a little bit. At number 8, we've got Josh Heupel and the Tennessee Volunteers via UCF. Obviously won the Heisman at Oklahoma as a player. But as a head coach, he's only at UCF. When he was there, he was 28-8. He is now 18-8 at Tennessee. 11-2 last year. Obviously won the Orange Bowl. Finished at number 6. They were number 1 for a little bit, which is crazy. And they've done a lot there. He's completely revolutionized the offense. Brought that hurry, speedy, run fast, tempo offense. One quick read. And it's totally revolutionized everything. He took Hendon Hooker, an average quarterback at best, and made him absolutely unbelievable. And man, the sky is the limit with him right now. He is Joe Milton. We can see how that turns out. If he's able to coach up Joe Milton and make him good, then he deserves everything he gets because, my goodness, he's a damn good coach. So that's why Josh Heupel comes in at number 8. At number 7, we have one of the disciples of the air raid, Lincoln Riley, via Oklahoma. Is now coaching the USC Trojans. He obviously was over at Oklahoma for 5 years. He was 55-10. Last season, he was 11-3 in his first year at USC with Caleb Williams. This man, if you're a quarterback, I'd go play for him because you'll probably be in the Heisman consideration if you get the starting job. He's had three Heisman winners in his 6 years of coaching. This being his 7th year now. Air raid disciple, sprays the ball over the field. He's been I'm looking at his high ranking here on the AP poll, 2-4-4-3-2-4. He's been a top 5 team every year he's coached. He's got no defense though, and no playoff wins. A lot of playoff losses, but they're always in. He's 1-4 in bowl games, but they've all been very important bowl games, mostly all playoff games, except last year. But he's doing a ton. He's doing a lot. This team's really good, man. He averages, 2.1 losses a season, it looks like. So, he's going to have it figured out well in USC. It's going to be very interesting to see how it translates to the Big Ten, if it does or not. But if he gets a defense ever, he's going to be a force and probably win a few national championships, definitely, because that offense is unbelievable. So that's why Lincoln Riley comes in at number 7 for me. At number 6, we've got the third baseman, Ryan Day, coach of Ohio State. He's been there now 5 seasons. This will be his upcoming year, will be his 6th year. They were 3-0 in 2018 when he took over, 13-1 in 2009, 7-1 in 2020, 11-2 and 11-2 the last 2 seasons, losing to Michigan the last 2 years. And in the playoff last year, he is 45-6, a staggering 88% win rate, which is crazy. I believe Michigan's like almost his only conference losses. It's crazy when you look at his record, broken down by year. And I think he's lost to Clemson, lost in the championship game to Alabama, lost to Oregon once, Michigan twice, and who was it last year? Georgia. So those are his only teams he's lost to. He's lost to Michigan twice and a bunch of playoff teams, which is absolutely unbelievable. And that's why I think it's crazy that the fact that he might be on the hot seat if he loses a third time to Michigan. When you look at these stats, like imagine getting fired, going 88% as a coach. That's just crazy, man. But that's the standard they set over there at Ohio State. So he looks to have another bounce back year this year. He's got a bit more of mojo back after that Georgia game. And I would not be surprised if they turn around. I don't think they're going to beat Michigan, but again, would not be entirely surprised if it happens because obviously it's a close game. Number 5, we've got Luke Fickell via Cincinnati and technically Ohio State that one year. He coached in 2011, but he was over at Cincinnati where he made his bread and butter. Had that legendary run making the playoffs as the Group of 5 team, 13-0, losing to Alabama in the Cotton Bowl. He coached in the bowl game, was 1-0, so he was already 1-0 for the Badgers. And looking to bring his air raid system now. He's hired Longo from UNC and looking to turn Wisconsin into a 3 yards in a cloud of dust into an air raid offense. It's gonna be very interesting to see how it works. But if it does, it'd be great, man. And if he was able to do all of that at Cincinnati, you upgrade to Wisconsin and maybe Ohio State in the future. But it's going to be very, very cool to see how it turns out in the Big Ten West. It's last year of it's like a soft launch into the Big Ten with the Big Ten West. So he's got Ohio State at home as well. That game is going to be crazy. I'm sure it's going to be emotional for him. And it's going to be unbelievable to see how it turns out. And with a record of 57-18 over at Cincinnati, he's a 71% career winning coach. His 1 year in the Big Ten, he was 6-7, but it was a bad Ohio State team, so not much you can do there. So that's why Luke Fickell comes in at number 5. We're now in the final 4 here. We've got the gods, image and likeness at number 4. Dabo Swinney, coach of Clemson via only Clemson. This will be his 15th season. This will be his 16th season. He had 15 years there. He is 161-39 at Clemson with an 80% win rate there. Very good stuff. Obviously, won 2 national championships in 2016 and 2018. And he has a little bit of a slip-off recently, but his slip-off years were 10-3 and 11-3, which is crazy to think about, including lost the bowl game last year in the Orange Bowl. So he was 11-2 and 9-3 going into those games. So if 3 wins is bad for you, that's crazy. I mean, here's his wins by season. He's got 3, 5, 7, 4, 2, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 3. So he went down and then peaked, and he's starting to come down a little bit, but we're not even close there. I think he can drop back up to a nice 12-0 regular season. We'll see about the playoff and everything. 13-0 with winning the conference as well, but we'll see how it goes going forward. But that's what we're having it right now. And he looks to have a better quarterback in Cade Klubnik, more traditional guy that he likes. He's got Will Shipley in there, who's very good. The receivers is questionable, but that defense is an absolute nightmare. I wouldn't want to have to scheme against that at all. So that defense, along with the good quarterback running back duo, is it enough? Is the lack of a really elite offensive line and tight ends and receivers going to hurt him? Potentially in the playoff and stuff, but he should be able to go to the ACC no problem, in my opinion. So Clemson, man, they're going to be back. And Dabo is number 4. Now, number 3, we got Jim Harbaugh. Again, this is off of the last 2 seasons, I would say. It's kind of like the idea of this poll here. Because if it was overall, Harbaugh would barely be on this list. And actively, he'd be towards the bottom, let's be honest, right? Overall, he is 74-25 at Michigan with a 75% win there. 69% overall. He was 29-21 at Stanford, which is crazy when you think about it. You look back, you're like, whoa, Stanford was good. It was mostly his llast season where they were 12-1 and won the Orange Bowl, finished number 4 overall. And then at Michigan, he went 10-3, 10-3, 8-5, 10-3, 9-4, 2-4, 12-2, 13-1. So, 4 losses, 2-1. He's just half-lifing it. So they're going to have 0 losses this year and 15-0, right? A lot of people were calling for Harbaugh's job back in the COVID year. You couldn't beat Ohio State. It was a nightmare. You're 2-7 in bowl games. Only what is that? 1-5 at Michigan, or 1-6 at Michigan, which is tough. 0-2 in the playoff. Those things, all those narratives are stacking up against him. And listen, I called for his job too, just being straight up, right? I'm a Michigan guy, but thankfully I was wrong. Again, I'm an armchair GM, as I always like to joke, and just an idiot with the camera in his room. But I think Harbaugh's got the best roster he's ever had in his life, outside the NFL ones, obviously. So it's put up or shut up this year. I think that this is his best chance of a national championship, and if he can't do it this year, it's going to be a long off season for me and my fellow Wolverines, but I think he will. I have all the faith in him. He's beaten those burger allegations with the NCAA looming over his head. Could this be his last year? Definitely could see it. Do I think it is? TBD. If he wins, he probably goes off on on a horse into the sunset. But if it's close enough again, probably sticks around. But who knows? The NCAA being annoying. But Jim Harbaugh comes in at number 3. And now at number 2, we've got Nick Saban, head of the Alabama Crimson Tide via Toledo, Michigan State, LSU, and the Dolphins for a little bit. But yeah, I believe in Nick Saban. I think that he's going to bounce back a little bit this year. 2024 is going to be his year, the way his roster is shaking out. He doesn't really have a quarterback this year, and he's kind of getting back to his old ways. Said he relied too much on Bryce, but we'll see how it goes. Obviously won many national championships, 1, 2, 3, I believe. Yeah, so he's got a ton there. He's the GOAT. It's that simple. Overall, looking at his record, he was 9-2 at Toledo, 34-24 at Michigan State, 48-16 at LSU, and 194-27 at Alabama. So 17 years, 27 losses. He's an 88% coach, same as Ryan Day, which is crazy when you put those numbers in the same sentence. But overall, absolute menace. He is 19-11 in bowl games, but at Alabama, he's 16-6. He's just doing everything he can, man. Ranked at number 4 this year. This is the lowest he's been ranked since 2009, which they won the championship. Some of the playoff era. He obviously had 3 BCS championships back in the day as well. But yeah, overall, I mean, he's the man. He is what he is. He's still able to recruit at a high level. It's just when he's going to hang it up. It doesn't really seem signs of showing down. I know he said last year it was a rebuilding year 2 years ago when they lost the national championship game and then they didn't make the playoff. It was just a tough comeback, but listen, they've only missed the playoff twice, and last time they missed the playoff, they won the national championship the next year. So I'm not saying they're going to win it this year, but history would say so. But I'm not. And at number 1, it's no surprise, it is Kirby Smart. Obviously an ex-Alabama guy, trained under Nick Saban, but as a head coach only of the Dogs, he is 81-15. He has 84% win rate. 8-5, 13-2, 11-3, 12-2, 8-2, 14-1, and 15-0. Obviously, he is 29-1 in his last 2 seasons, only losing once to Alabama, but avenging that in the national championship game, winning back-to-back national championships, looking to three-peat for the first time in basically ever, especially in the modern era. So he is 2-1 in national championship games. He finally got the monkey off his back and beat Saban in a big game, in a game in general, honestly. And he's got the upper hand in recruiting, upper hand in everything. When you think of college football right now, you think of Georgia. I mean, post-COVID, it's just been them running the show. And, they're reloading everywhere. They're at that Alabama caliber where they can just reload like, nobody's business. They can lose a billion guys to the draft and have no problem. But losing a quarterback and a few other pieces, including coordinators, it's the most they've lost, but, there's no reason that they can't go out there and win it. They've got, I think they're 2-1 to win a national championship, which is unbelievable odds, but Kirby's got that pedigree now where he's earned it. College football and the conference and everyone, runs through Athens, Georgia. So that is why he's number 1. Let me know if I missed anyone on this list. If your coach is not on here, I don't know, James Franklin maybe, Kyle Whittingham potentially. I know people are going to get mad about Lane Kiffin, but it's a personal pick for me, and I think it was really close, the guys around him. And I do believe in him. I think that the way he's transcended the new sport is good. I mean, he's been in so many different areas. He went to the NFL and came back. He's done a lot of things. So that's why I got him on the list. And let me know down below if you disagree. Please like and subscribe. And thank you for tuning in this whole series. And I know we're getting there, man. We're about a week away from college football. So we'll see you guys later. Peace.